For today's video, I'm just going to freestyle a little bit. I'm thinking specifically about this. There's this saying, a place for everything and everything in its place. And the only reason I'm thinking about that is because there's this Radiohead song that I really liked. It's off their album Kid A. It's probably my favorite of all. Everything in its right place. And it's like haunting and incredible and very unique and distinctive, and really kind of defined Radiohead's sound after that. And I'm thinking about that because I had a conversation today. With somebody in a business, like it's effectively, I don't know, it's close to a startup. But they're gaining traction really quickly. And I was talking to him about marketing. And I come from this direct marketing background where we write these like 10,000 word sales letters and all this like email marketing and add to landing page to, the landing page could have a VSL or sales letter to order form and whatever. But this particular offer is not appropriate for that at all. And not all offers are appropriate for that. And so, tying that back to why I'm thinking of this song and this saying, everything in its right place. It's because if you try to force your approach onto something where it's just not a fit, then you are going to create way more struggle and way less success than you want. And so you're much better off either, one, just moving on. Like one of the reasons, like in my client getting blueprint, one of the reasons why I teach the whole process of qualification, disqualification is because even if from an initial impression, you think that a potential client is the best fit for you, for your services, if you can find out that they're not a fit, you save yourself a hell of a lot of headaches by just acknowledging that up front, by finding the ways where they're not a fit, and by moving on and going and finding someone who is a much better fit. So if all you can do is this one thing, this one service, if that's like the best, value that you can provide, just focus on finding people where you can serve them on that one thing, right? Alternatively, if you can be flexible, if you can be a dynamic problem solver, and that's a skill that you've developed and you have enough experience and background, be flexible and don't try to force one solution on everybody. This is actually part of why, even though a lot of my audience is copywriters, I recommend copywriters get a job in marketing at an entrepreneurial company. Even if it's not direct response and you want to go into writing direct response copy. Because if you are in like a small entrepreneurial business and you're kind of forced to adapt and do 100 things and get good at the different aspects, you're going to have a much stronger skill set, even if you later focus that skill set on like one narrow channel or niche or group of clients in the future, just by having that broader understanding. And then from time to time, you may run into a situation or an opportunity where it makes sense to say, for example, this particular offer, there's not a client relationship yet, but what I'm thinking is that this particular offer, they need a conversion system to actually get people on the phone to talk about the offer. And they need a sales team who is capable of talking about the offer. And for this particular offer, they also need, they need like a business sales side and a tech sales side for the people that can make the business case and the people that can make the tech case, and they work together as a team. So they need that mechanism in place, but they don't need a sales letter. They don't need a traditional funnel to drive leads that way because of the nature of this product. They actually need media. They need PR. They need to show up in places where they can discuss the unique advantages of their solution, their offer. And the way that they're going to get that is by actually, to some degree, what I said to them is make your first customer the press, make your first customer the people who own media, and focus your initial communication / marketing efforts on that with an intentional plan in place to drive those people into like a lead capture mechanism. And so that's very different. Like, it's based on the same principles. It's based on the same fundamental strategies of direct response that I would use all the time. It's based on the underlying like traffic conversion economics that are, core lessons of direct response in internet advertising. But it's not like tactically, anybody that tried to write a sales letter for this offer is just going to, number one, they'll probably be met with resistance at the client level, because the client doesn't really, they know that, as somebody who would actually be a buyer in their market, they know that they wouldn't respond to a sales letter for this particular offer. It's just, it has to deal with complexity. It has to do with the nature of the audience. It has to do with all sorts of things. But they do also know, so it would be met with resistance at that client level, but it would also be met with resistance and failure at the market level, because if you actually did get it out into the market, you could easily end up in a situation where it just doesn't hit. And it's not just me. Like, I was listening to Stephen Georgi, who's definitely one of the best copywriters out there now, if not the best. And I was listening to him talk to somebody about a business in the payment processing niche. And Stephen said basically that you don't need a long sales letter. The guy was working on a sales letter, and the sales letter could provide value as far as like just being crystal clear on what the buyer's decision-making process is like. If you go through the process of writing a sales letter, you're thinking about things like your unique mechanism, your positioning in the marketplace, your unique selling proposition, your offer. You're going through all those things in your head, and you're getting clear on that. But you don't you don't sell that particular offer, that particular service with a sales letter. And this other conversation that I was having today, you don't sell it with a sales letter. And instead you want to find out what works. Like, you have to do what works for that particular instance. And frankly, that's like why I like to, if I'm going to work with a client, I like to have a whole consultation call, a whole conversation with them prior to ever showing up to write any copy or anything. Because if they come to me saying I need a sales letter and I write a sales letter, but that's not the right thing, they're not going to get the results that were possible. Versus, they come to me and they say, here's a challenge. Do you have any ideas about how you can solve it? And we're able to work together and identify like what the best steps would be. The potential for success there is so much bigger, so much easier, so much faster. And it all comes down to recognizing, hey, what's going to work here, what's not, what's worth testing, what should we probably back burner or never address at all. So that's a thought for this Wednesday. As much as I often talk about, okay, here's what you got to do for like effective copywriting. Sometimes it pays to zoom out a little bit and say, is effective copywriting what we need here? Or is this type of copywriting what we need here? My name is Roy Furr. This has been a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I would love it if you leave me a comment below. Let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how much value you got out of this particular lesson, this particular perspective, and why. Like, what's your biggest takeaway? What's your action item? How are you going to approach work a little bit differently because of this? So that's a comment. Also hit like before you go so that the magical algorithms of the internet know to share more content like this with you and to share this content with more people like you who would find it valuable. If you know somebody in your life who would find it valuable, you can certainly share it with them directly. And subscribe. You can subscribe here before you go. Also go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com. I've included a link in the description so that you can get more content like this delivered to you Monday through Friday. It's on copywriting, marketing, business building, selling more, all about making you more successful as a marketer, as an entrepreneur. I'll also include links in the description related to the Client Getting Blueprint that I mentioned and my free Launch Your Client Business mini course, which you can just sign up for by email. And it's 3 episodes all about what it takes to launch a successful client business. Once again, Roy Furr, video issuer, Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Thanks for watching. I hope you did get 10 out of 10 value. That's always what I'm aiming for with these videos. And I look forward to seeing you again in your next video issue. See you soon. Bye.